Good to have you here again, and welcome to Finance Skills Hub. Here we learn, we connect, and we grow. In this short video, we are going to learn how to create a subtotal report with and without a pivot table. As you always do, let's get to Excel and see how this is done. So this is my data, and my goal is to have a subtotal after each city on the sales. Now, before you even do this, the first thing is to sort the city column alphabetically. So we have all the city names nicely in one place. So to do that, you select one cell, you go to data, and you can do A to Z or Z to A. So let's do A to Z. So in this case, I have all Accra following one another, and the next town switches. Now, after doing this, I want to place a subtotal after every change in city. So I'll go to data, and in the outline group you see subtotal, and here it is important that you don't have your data in a table. Even though it's ideal to have data in a table, subtotal only works in a normal range of cells as we have it here. So you select any cell in your data and then you choose subtotal. This dialog box pops up, and you have these three fields to provide. First, I want the subtotal to apply at each change in the city column. So that is why I sorted this column in the first place. And I am doing a sum. So it's going to sum the sales column. And here you indicate which of the columns you want the sum or the subtotal applied to. And here I've chosen the sales column. There are options to replace current subtotals if you run an existing subtotal, or apply page break, or also get a summary below your data. All these are options you can apply. So we are set. Once you do this, you click OK. So when you do this, at every change in city, you now have subtotal for each city. Okay, you can group this at a very high level grand total, see it at city level, and then the granular points of the city product and sales. So this is possible using the outline subtotal menu here. You can also remove the subtotal, what you've done, by clicking the subtotal and clicking remove all, and then you have your data back. Now let's quickly do this with a pivot table. As I said, with a pivot table, you can convert it into a table, which is always advisable with data like this. So I press Ctrl T and I have a table here. Okay, you don't need to actually convert to a table before you left into a pivot table, but I just wanted to show you how you insert a table. Now you can insert a pivot table in this table by going to Insert and Pivot Table, or pressing Alt and V one after the other. So this opens up the pivot table dialog box, essentially asking you where you want to place the pivot table report. So for learning purposes, I want to place it just by my report, and I'll place it here. So this is going to give me a summary of this data to my left. So this is my pivot table, and now I'm going to build my report. Just as we saw earlier, city is going to go into rows, products will go into rows, and then I'll have my sales in the value section. Now, when you create a pivot table, you see Analyze and Design when you select the pivot table. Okay, what is important is you can change the report's layout either as an outline, compact, or tabular. In this case, I'm choosing the tabular format to make it easy to identify my columns. So when it's like this, your subtotal is already active. You can take it away, or you can decide not to show it. Now you realize that I have some blanks after each city. You can fill in or repeat by going to Field Settings, right-clicking any cell, going to the Field Settings, and under Layout and Print, you can choose to repeat item labels. Okay, so you can have this. Under the Analyze, you can also deactivate the Expand Collapse icon so that you have something close to what we did earlier. Now, how do we collapse it to the city level like you had it here? You can select any cell or any header, and then you can use the Expand and Collapse icon in the right-click menu, and then you can do Collapse to City, which is an option here. So this now gives you the subtotal per city. If you want to fill in the product as well, you can come to Expand Collapse and say expand to product ID. Okay, so either way, you can get a subtotal report either using the pivot table or not. Please practice and add it to your list of Excel tricks. For more of these short videos, you can join our broadcast list. You can send videos directly to your WhatsApp. Please send ad to this number you see on your screen. All our old videos are on our channel, Find the Skills Hub. Connect with us on any of these social media handles. Thank you for watching.